Hello everybody. It is Halloween, the day when the dead shall rise and walk the earth, and they will sit in front of their computers with ghostly, spindly, bony fingers, open Cubase and explore a range of scary and suspenseful sound libraries. But honestly, do you think the dead have got nothing better to do than explore sound libraries? Well, I don't know. I certainly haven't. And so we're going to go back to the shed, haunted or not, and we're going to be diving into some specialised libraries which are there just to dial up that special spooky feeling at the touch of a button. You up for that? Let's do it. And so I return from the graveyard, back from the dead. Oh, my shed must be haunted. Somebody has left a hot cup of tea here. Oh, who knew? Okay, look, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using that little piece of film I just made down in the graveyard and putting some scary music with it. And you can also download this film so that you can put your own scary music with it and have a go, and then feel free to put it on YouTube and share it and see what other people think, okay? But before we get into this, scary, we're talking about scary today. Many musicians find more advanced harmony quite scary. Tenuous link. We've just released a course called Practical Harmony 2. It's brilliant. It's all about all the stuff you want to know and probably don't, and it allows you to get in touch with jazz harmony, modal harmony, borrowed chords, extensions, all this kind of stuff which you thought, half no? Practical Harmony 2. Check it out. Right, now let's get into this. We're looking at three principal libraries today. We're looking at a brand new one, which is Heaviocity's Dystropia. Dystropia comes with a whole load of controls. It's very much a sound design library, and you can choose different sources, and you've got tons and tons of control over the actual sound itself. So Dystropia is more like a horror sound engine than one specific library, so that there's a lot of ways, but it's quite deep. So we'll only be, as usual, we'll be skimming the surface and saying, yep, that was great, moving on. We're looking at another one, which I've been using for a long time, which is Pandora from Project Sam. It's part of the Symphobia series, and it comes in two versions, the full version and core being obviously a cut down version, which you can get for less money. And it comes with one or two really cool things. It's largely orchestrally based and very much around sort of events like crescendos, swells, tonal pulses, things like that. So we'll look at that one as well. And the third one is a really interesting one, which has just been released by Orchestral Tools, and it's called Corven, after the horror composer of the same name. And it's what you get here is a whole load, it's, as it says here, acoustic shape of dread. The gist of it is these are processed weird and wonderful acoustic instruments. So everything you hear in here has an acoustic heart, and is then mangled and made weird so that it sounds horrible. So again, it comes with dark art and design. These are kind of finished sort of presets, basically. Then there's the orchestral metamorphosis, which has got obviously a more orchestral bent to it. And then internal instruments. Some of these instruments, like this Symphony, which is allegedly an 8-foot hurdy-gurdy, he's very fond of the hurdy-gurdy. So these are sort of the instruments themselves for you to play with. And there's lots of interesting stuff in there. Now, when writing horror and scary music, you don't just want massive amounts of A dissonance and B distortion all the time. You want to balance that against more traditional sounds or not horror orientated sounds. So what I'm going to do I'm using a really powerful synth, which I'm very fond of, called the Legend HZ from Synapse Audio. It's just, I mean, I've played with this before, so I won't sort of extol its virtues yet again. But basically, it's a very huge, powerful. You see what I mean? It's really, really nice. Turn it down a bit because it's a bit loud. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put a simple pad on underneath, and then we will add some of the weird and wonderful textures over the top.
Open Cubase and explore a range of scary and suspenseful sound libraries.
See, a lot of the time, this is all we're going to need. Right, there you go, and I disappear. And then mysteriously pop up in my shed. Okay, so that's what we're going to have running along in the background, because I think that might be quite useful. I'm going to render it out to a piece of audio, and then we're going to add bits and pieces on the top. And I think that's going to be the most effective way. So let's look at, first of all, we're going to be looking at Dystopia, which, as I said, is a very sophisticated sound design horror engine as much as anything else. Here we go. Let's get my friend up here. I tell you what, I'll mute this off for a second. So that's it. Let's have a look, and I can run you through the sounds. Here we go. Up you come. Right. So, Q creators. This is very much, if you want straight off the shelf, this is where you go. There is so much control in here. Random drift, automate. You can record. Oh, look, I could do a sort of very lengthy videos talking about, you know, you could do an entire course on how this library works. But it repays people who spend time reading the manual or watching the walkthrough. Now, if you are writing music for an indie horror film, oh, you are, great, okay. Just be careful about diving into the first load of presets you find, because everybody else is going to do the same thing. So 99 million people will use bending alarms, and it'll get down to about 50,000 people using Lone Survivor, and down the bottom. Yeah, number of people actually go into the rest of the stuff is quite limited, because people are driven by presets. You know the old thing about the original Yamaha DX7, which, to be honest, was so hard to program through a tiny little window. I think something ridiculous like 98% of all the DX7s which went in for service had never had any of their patches altered. So people were just using it as a preset machine. Yeah, very good preset machine, but a preset machine nonetheless. Okay, let's now, okay, so if we go beyond the Q curators, pedals and pulses, I'm just going to choose one at random halfway down, slogging through ash. Yeah, okay, whatever you say. Okay, so there we go. We've got a little sequence thing going on there. What happens if I move the mod wheel? All very nice. I mean, straining to survive. Okay, alarms. Atonal pads. Let's have Growing Dread. Oh yeah, that'll do. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Right, let's add some of that over the top of our previous thing. Oh, that's good. Now let this man start speaking.
It is Halloween, the day when the dead shall rise and walk the earth, and they will sit in front of their computers with ghostly spindly bony fingers, open Cubase
Little touches.
and explore a range of scary and suspenseful sound libraries.
Okay, now I'm going to duplicate it, and we're going to go into some of those more rhythmic things. We're going to go in here, we're going to go and look for rhythm. Oh my lord. Chaotic Chase? Oh yeah. And look, you can click on one of these and choose a different sound. If I actually knew how to do that, but you get the gist. Yeah.
Hello, everybody. It is Halloween, the day when the dead shall
Wait for the change of shot. Or maybe not.
Open Cubase and explore a range of scary and suspenseful sound libraries. But honestly,
Okay. Look, I could be here all day playing with this because it rewards fiddling about. And honestly, who doesn't like a bit of fiddling about, to be honest? I mean, glitches and noise. You've got an awful lot of stuff you can get into here. Let's move on because we've got 3 libraries to look at and we've only looked at one of them. Okay, let's turn off Heaviosity, turn off the bottom one. Let's go into... let's go Corven. Corven's the next one up because Corven's pretty new as well. This is named after the horror composer of the same name. And his thing is creating acoustic instruments and acoustic pads and patches and things like that, and then destroying them and coming up with things which sound really kind of cool and weird. He's particularly fond of hurdy-gurdy. So the way the library is organised, Dark Art Designs, you get, okay, let's just take the first patch, Violin Riser. Let's turn the reverb off. Okay, you get the gist there. Just choose one other one, High Ebo Downer. Okay, I'll see where that's coming from. So it's all that kind of stuff. There's then an orchestral bit, Laird Aleatoric, Sewer Munchkin's Ruler. I'm never going home without playing that. Oh yeah. So these are Industrial Mice Ruler. I mean, some of these names. Yeah, give it a bit. Whoa. Okay, so you get the gist of what you've got going on there. And then the internal instruments. This is one of the most interesting bits here. I mean, he's made quite a lot of new stuff. Particularly things like look, this thing here, Symphony, is allegedly, and I say allegedly, he says it's, look, if he says it's an 8-foot hurdy-gurdy, why should I not believe him? Wow. Single note sustained with a whack of reverb. Pulse sustains, downers. Yeah. So that's the sort of range of the instruments. They've got a very, you can start hearing, they've got a kind of a sound, which is Mr. Corven's style, I presume. Let's therefore add them to what we had going already. And what am I going to... Okay, which of these are we going to add? Which one was ringing your bell? Oh, really? Okay. You wanted to hear what the octave harp is. Fair enough. Nah. Do you know what? Don't want to do that. We're going for the apprehension engine. EBO bass drones, organic pulses, pads. I don't know. Oh, that's lovely. I like that. Right.
Hello, everybody. It is Halloween, the day when the dead shall rise and walk the earth, and they will sit in front of their computers with ghostly, spindly, bony fingers open.
Yeah, that works. I mean, it's quite subtle, the way I'm playing it there. Guys, subtle? Don't be ridiculous. Okay, let's go for Laird Gurdy Nightmare. I normally go for a Laird Gurdy Nightmare. Glassy pad. Gurdy Riser. Okay, got the gist of where this is going. Let's go for that.
Hello, everybody. It is Halloween, the day when the dead shall rise and walk the earth, and they will sit in front of their...
If there was something more scary than me standing around in Whistwittering churchyard with a pair of sunglasses on, that would be really, really terrifying. But actually, it's me standing around in the rain in this churchyard with me sunglasses on. So, Corven definitely brings something brand new to the party. Thank you very much indeed, Orchestral Tools. The last one I'm looking at today is Project Sam's Pandora. I've been using this for years. What it really does well is to provide little sort of highlights and moments within a score. So there's two versions of it. There's the full Pandora, and then there's the core version, which is a stripped down version. And it comes in combos, which are sort of load them up and have fun. Effects, clusters, tonals, pulses, risers, and percussion. You have quite a lot of control over all these. Okay, this is... Let me just show you its party piece. Now, you know when a moment ago when we were trying to do that sort of thing going on, it's quite hard to work out how to get that to do it in time with your particular piece of music. What Pandora does, do you see this downbeat? If you have a crescendo like this one, and let's turn the click on so you can see what's going on, it will ensure that the crescendo hits the downbeat of the next bar. I say party piece because I haven't seen this before, so here we go, let's see how it goes. Hey! How much time is that going to save? I would have, in the past, I would have bounced it to audio, done all this kind of stuff. No, I don't need to do that. So quite a lot of these combos, as you see, you can turn various bits of them on and off. You can have, this is combos are a sort of layer of 3, for example. Let's have some pulses. Let's go and see what the pulses have got to do. Pulses, brass trumpets, strings, winds, high winds. Let's see what high winds has got going for it. Okay, here we go. So look, what you can do, crotchets. Oh, sorry. Hello, America. Quarter notes, 8th notes, 16th notes, 8th note triplets. Now, do you see that it's blue and yellow? The yellow bit is the accent, so you can go. I quite like that. Let's do it. See if we can add that to it and see if it adds anything to this dodgy piece of horror.
Hello, everybody. It is Halloween, the day when the dead shall rise and walk the earth, and they will sit in front of their computers with ghostly, spindly, bony fingers, open Cubase, and explore a range of scary and suspenseful sounds.
It wasn't the right sound, was it? It wasn't the right sound for that particular piece, but I quite like it. I mean, look, it's not as a it can do a certain. It's got a Bernard Herrmann thing going for it, I think. Here, you know, if you wanted to do a Bernard Herrmann-esque, piece, that would definitely do it. Clusters. How about some clusters? Everybody loves a cluster. Do you love a cluster? I love a cluster. Okay, so we'll have tutti orchestral crescendo. No, we'll want swell. Let's have an orchestral swell because they're always fun. Let's make it nice and long. There you go. Here we go. Oh, hang on. Play. Let's try playing a noted.
Hello, everybody. It is Halloween, the day when the dead shall rise and walk the earth, and they will sit in front of their computers with ghostly spin.
Okay, so let's just listen to it by itself. I think. Oh, why does it think it's still recording? I don't know. That's a bit dodgy. Here we go. Now, when you turn it on maximum length like that, you're going to hear some artifacts. Let's turn it down to 4 beats, okay? And what I do is I will render it to audio. Then, if you duplicate that track, okay, and then you reverse the second one. Okay, not that one. Processes reverse. Where's reverse gone? There we go. There we are. So what you're doing is you're going to have one going one way and one going the other, and they're both going to the reverb so that it sounds nice. Let's have a little look so we can see what's going on. Here we go. There we are, like that. So they're offset. See what I mean? So there you go. Look, so we've got 3 different approaches to this. We've got the sort of orchestral events, which is very much Project Sam Pandora's approach. We have Orchestral Tools Corven, which is weird and wonderful orchestral, acoustic instruments, mangled and turned into all kinds of other things. And Heavyocity's Dystropia, which is more of a kind of sound design engine with lots and lots of control, so you can use it to produce all sorts of things. And remember, underneath this video, you can download my little intro from the churchyard and have your own go at scoring some kind of weird and wonderful, micro horror film. Anything with me in it's a horror film, after all is said and done. And I've let my cough. That's a real horror. I've just let my tea go cold. Anyway, that's all for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, go and check us out at Google ThinkSpace courses, and find out more. See you again very soon. Bye-bye.